Hey everybody, Pete here again with PNP Real Estate. And once again, I'm here with Bret Pruehs from McNair Law Firm. Bret, as always, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We're approaching March, and what that means for a lot of people is tax season right around the corner, or we're in the midst of it right now. And one of those things, 2017 is a reassessment year for Beaufort County. So Bret's going to enlighten us and inform us on some things you might want to be aware of as far as tax assessments. So Bret, the first thing, what should people kind of keep an eye out for?
Well, they should keep an eye on their mailboxes. The next significant property tax related correspondence is likely to be a notice of reassessment, and all Beaufort County properties are being reassessed this year.
Okay. When they get it, they open up the mail. What's the kind of the first thing they should do?
Well, you hit on the first point is you already made, which is open it, read it, pay attention to it, and then I think assessing, is it reasonable and is it realistic? And I think that might entail reaching out to their realtor, looking at comparable sales, talking to their closing attorney, and kind of asking themselves realistically, is this a fair assessment of the property's value?
So a couple of things that people might want to know that they don't know is about the assessment. So it's based off of comparable properties that sold maybe in their neighborhood for 2016. Is that correct?
Correct. I mean, it's what the assessor determines to be the fair market value, and I think probably the sale of comparable properties is probably the strongest determinant of the fair market value.
And the last time they did an assessment and used values, that was from when?
The last time was 2013, and it was values as of December 31st, 2012.
Okay, so the values in 2012 obviously weren't what they are today. So.
Correct. Yeah, and that was a pretty significant decline in values relative to the prior reassessment. So what folks are seeing now is going to be an adjustment in many instances from 2012 values to 2016.
So if somebody sees a jump of say 25,000 difference in assessed value, that's not necessarily cause for big concern, is it? In other words, if they say, "Well, I'm going to challenge the county on this," could it work against them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's one of the key things, and before a taxpayer files an appeal, they ought to know the merits of their case, and part of that is making sure that it's justifiable, and also a cost-benefit analysis, because there's some time involved. There's potentially expenses insofar as needing an appraisal, and needing an attorney, and also there's the potential that the assessor could increase the tax. The tax bill can go up on the basis of an appeal. So the taxpayer really wants to make sure that there's an appropriate benefit to justify initiating the process.
So it really needs to be a significant amount of change as far as the value that the county gives it compared to what it was before somebody, in other words, they can spend a lot of money fighting this in time and effort, but they're fighting something that the change in the taxes would not be that significant.
I mean, I've seen it happen. So yeah, a cost-benefit analysis is definitely part of the equation.
Be careful on it. Check with someone like Bret. Check with someone like me, a realtor or an attorney, on if that value is going to increase significantly. One thing that a lot of people ask me is, well, we just paid $300,000 for this house, or we just paid $1.5 million, but the assessment is only $200,000, or it's only $900,000. That's a good thing, though, right?
I get that same question often. My view is yes. My sense is that among the many factors that a potential buyer considers in determining what they're willing to buy a home for, my sense is that the tax assessor's opinion is weighed pretty low on the priority list. I think it can be considered, but I would be pleased to think that my property was being undertaxed.
Yeah, so if your assessed value is less than what you paid for it, that's a good thing, because you're paying taxes on the assessed value, not the market value. So
correct.
That's a thing to remember. All right, that's some pretty good information. If you have any questions, you can always reach Bret at McNair Law Firm. You can post on our Facebook or Twitter page, or you can call me, Pete Popovich at PNP Real Estate. Bret, as always, thanks for the great info.
Thank you for having me.
Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.